We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Now we're all like scared because we know what's happening, and there's no clicks.
It's much better when there's no click in.
It's always better when you sneak in,
but like
consensually.
Andy is like obsessed with this new ice cream maker. I'm telling you, like, just so the listeners know, there are 3 different ice creams on the table right now that Andy is putting away. One is a blackberry ice cream because he made blackberry gel for this amazing Swiss roll he did.
Was that the one that you posted on Instagram the other day?
Yeah. Okay. And did you see that roll, girl? Mm-hmm. That is like serious
Swiss rolls.
But that is some master baking right there. Like, he got that roll nice and tight.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
And, like, he had a lemon curd in there with a blackberry gel. But he took some of that blackberry and made it into the...
What's a blackberry gel?
It's like where you like get a little bit hardened. So it's like, you get all the flavor of the blackberry, but, like, in a more solid form.
So, like a fruit roll-up, kind of?
Yeah, in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, like, he made... that blackberry ice cream, he made a salted caramel ice cream because he wanted to try that, and he made a chocolate marshmallow. So
which was the Rocky Road without the
road.
Rocky?
Yeah,
the road?
That's how I prefer it. The way you made it is delicious. With no nuts.
Well, because it's because it's got marshmallow and then what is it? Peanuts?
Rocky Road I think is marshmallow, peanuts, and even like chips.
Yeah,
chips
no.
and stuff.
I don't like the texture.
You don't like all the accoutrement
in
there.
The accoutrement.
You want just the road. You don't need it to be rocky.
Yeah,
like a smooth road.
Yeah, just a freshly paved one.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, nice asphalt.
Oh, yeah,
dead asphalt.
I'm Paul,
and I'm Joe,
and we're These Unprecedented Gays.
Season 4.
I know, it's season 4.
Oh my god,
I can't believe it.
4 is an even number.
It is.
I mean, so is 2. Oh, last season was our prime season.
It was. I was just thinking about that. 3 is a prime number.
5 will be our next one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then I was talking.
And then not till 7.
Yeah, I was talking to Nick about this, and it was like, he's like, "Wow, there's like prime numbers infinitely," and I was like, "Yeah, that's math." I was like, there's like mathematical scholars that like research like the next prime number.
But if you were from the UK, it'd be maths.
Is it? Yes. Right? Okay.
So whenever I'm watching a show and they're like, what about your maths? And
yes.
I'm like, what?
And they're like, maths? Plurals.
I'm like, why are you pluralizing that?
Listen,
I don't know.
Maybe they do.
Just call it arithmetic?
No.
No,
what is this? 16, 12?
And there is not just one math. There's multiple math.
The 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic.
Which I never understood because
it's not arithmetic.
It starts with an A. So
also writing is a W.
Already you're learning the wrong thing.
I don't know what they taught you in Utah.
No, they called them the 3 R's.
And this was the downfall of American Idol.
So
we're going to teach you reading, writing, and arithmetic.
So already writing starts with a W, arithmetic starts with an A. Already our education system is broken.
I mean, you could say that it's raw reading, arithmetic, and writing.
Opposite. It's reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh, so it's very southern.
Yeah.
That's probably why our...
From Florida.
Yeah.
So how was your week, Joe?
Well, I am currently fun employed.
Yay.
Which I am very excited about.
Much anticipated.
Yes. So, if the listeners... I don't really know. Did I talk about that? So,
yeah.
We phase out operations for my job, so I am in between jobs, which I am okay with because I get to just, like, exist and, like relax. Although I'm gonna go crazy really soon because I'm like, okay, it's day 3, and I'm like, what do I do? Like...
Pretty soon you'll be making ice cream and... Yeah,
right.
that stuff.
I almost was like, maybe I'll organize my closet, and I was like, no, I'm not there
Not
yet.
that desperate.
Not there yet. So That's my big one.
You know what you could do while you have all this time on your hands?
I need you to tell me stuff to watch on TV.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I'll be asking your recommendations. So that was a big one, and then we had our chorus show, which you guys came to.
It was really nice. I must say, it was wonderful. It was 3 choruses. It was like Coro de Mexico.
I don't know. They rebranded all their names.
Yeah.
And
then
No, it's Coro Gay de Mexico LGBTQIA plus. It's like there was a lot of letters.
Gay chorus in Mexico City.
Yes.
And then they had the gay chorus in Tijuana, which was like they only had like 7 people, but they were fantastic and so inspirational.
And their director Israel, when he was in his conquistador outfit, I was like, "You can conquer me." He was
conquer
fine.
this ass.
Oh my god! Because they. It's weird to say, but like the Mexicans, and that's appropriate because they're from Mexico, and it feels weird saying like the Mexicans, but like it's true. But their outfits were like on another level.
Yes,
and I think it's Israel, but I was just like, he comes out of the like little director dressing room thing, and I was like, oh. He had like it was like almost like Hamilton-y, but without like long capes, and it was like. It was just really good. And he was like light eyes, dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus with a great voice.
Conducting. Yeah.
Conducted that.
I know.
For such a small group, they had so much energy. And
Yes.
you just were like 100% behind them when they were.
Yeah.
I think their total course is like maybe 12 people.
Wow,
That's great.
Yeah.
cool.
They're
It's their
like
first
brand new, I think. So
Year 1.
Yeah. I mean, I heard from a lot of people who watched the show that they really, really loved it. And the funny thing is that I loved it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I thought the music was great. You do see a very disparate difference between the Mexico City chorus and the San Diego Gay Men's chorus in the way that they conduct themselves on stage. Because it looked like the Mexican City and Tijuana chorus was having a lot more fun.
Yes.
Whereas San Diego tends to be a lot more stoic, and they were just on stage like you could tell when you were having.
Oh no! I was like stoic my ass.
Actually, I heard people say that Joe looked more like the Mexico City chorus.
Yes.
than-
Did they think I was Mexican?
No,
you were just all on it.
I was giving it, and I'm like vocally fatigued, but on the second day I was like, there's no music coming out of my mouth, like my voice can't make these sounds, so I was literally lip syncing for my life. And I was selling it. I was like, I have to sell it. But there were like, you have to be extra, because like you said, Paul, like historically STGMC, yeah, they're a little more serious, and I was like, no, because like you got to bring
this
the fun.
should be a celebration of 3 different choruses coming together to create music for people, and I think that's so awesome.
Yes.
And we and during the right before we went in, we're like, hey, like we have a great time. We were texting you guys saying have a great time, blah blah blah, and then you were like, yell pineapple.
And you did. I heard
And they
you.
did.
And I did. I was like, should I do it right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, come on, pineapple.
Well, and I told them, I was like, if you yell pineapple, I'll walk off stage. Obviously, I couldn't because I was in like the back risers, but I would have. If I was on like the end, I would have just like
You know what you should have
disappeared.
done is you should have just shrank down.
I will say that Paul, your time in the chorus too, you and Joe were always like
Yes.
the Mexico City part of our chorus. Always like
You have to be extra.
You look like you were having so much fun up there.
until you fell off the riser.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But you
TBT.
were selling it in the back row.
It was fun.
You were.
Nick was, because he had a 5-hour energy.
And your
I took a 5-hour energy. That's why.
He
your-
was like
your shirt
shaking.
looked amazing.
Thank you. I love it too.
Nick, I've never seen Nick that caffeinated, and he drinks coffee. He like chugged a 5-hour energy, and we're in like the dressing rooms, and he's like putting on his glitter eye stuff. His hands were shaking, and I was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I had a 5-hour energy," and I was like, "Now you know how I feel all the time." He's like, "I hate it."
He wanted a chest bump, everybody.
And then like at halftime, he was like, "I'm falling asleep."
And then he found a second win when he went out that night.
Until 2
It
a.m.
was a journey. It was a
Did you
journey.
work on Monday?
Oh yeah, it was a terrible day. Yeah.
Did David work too?
No. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Joe, how was the rest of your week?
So that was the weekend, and then I don't know if you guys have done Amazon returns at Whole Foods, but that was kind of like the highlight of my day. Because, well, let me tell you why. Not like doing the like return process with a person, but they have like a machine where you basically don't have to interact with anybody, and like you scan the code. Right, you scan the code, and it like gives you a bag. Right, and you like slap on the little thing, and then you go in and get out.
Yeah, because at Kohl's you can do Amazon returns, but you have to actually interact with somebody. And I'm like, ugh.
But even they have a line just for returns, and the person scans your thing. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. I generally don't do the machine because I don't like. When the person does it, like you get like the return immediately.
Right away, yeah.
But when I did the like the machine thing, like I still have yet to get like the thanks for dropping off your package. So
it didn't happen. I hope it wasn't expensive.
no. Maybe I'll call them.
What'd you return, Joe?
It was just like a moisturizer. I know, my life is so sad. The highlight of my day is dropping off something at Amazon.
Moisturizer.
I'm living the life. And then the last thing that I would say weekly is just trying to stay out of this heat.
Yeah.
Like it's been humid, it's been hot, and it's been unbearable.
But we are actually much better than a lot of other places because like Arizona finally had a break in their heat wave. They had a day where the high was only 108 instead of 110 or higher.
Okay.
So after 30-something days of 110 degree heat or more, they finally broke it and we're under 110.
But it's a dry heat.
Does that make it better?
No. Everybody always says that like about Palm Springs too.
Yeah.
It's hot, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Just
Like an oven.
Yeah, exactly.
So but then they're inside all day, so like
Yeah.
Exactly.
and that's been my week. How are you?
Other than like we saw your concert, we already talked about that. I had to deal with my my bank card being hacked. Somebody did like 15 charges to Twitch for like $4.20 each.
What's the Twitch?
Twitch is like a streaming service.
Okay.
You watch people play.
Oh, that's like where you watch people game, right?
Yes.
That's
Or
so
other
interesting.
He woke up one morning and like checked his account and he saw all this
Here's
stuff
the thing,
overnight.
people. You should be checking your bank account every single day.
Yeah.
You wake
Yes.
up, the first thing I do when I wake up, check my bank account.
Mhm.
Make sure
sad.
everything's right. You know, keep it right, keep it tight. That's
I
what
mean,
always
if I were to
say.
do that, I'd be like, well, the $1's still there.
Okay.
If you stay empty, you don't have to get empty.
Nothing you can't steal from me if I ain't got nothing. What is that? Beating the system. There you go.
So, but Bank of America was really good about getting like my refund and, and checking it out and all this stuff. So I thought that was great.
Did you get a new card quickly?
I had to get a new card and everything, but they overnighted it to me, so that's
okay.
So I already got it and everything.
Okay,
so.
good.
Hackers, take that, Russia!
But what was the total? So it was like $4.
It was like $60-something after all the charges.
But a lot of times they'll test the card. And
right. They'll do that. It's called phishing. So they'll phish it until they think, okay, this is still working. So we're gonna do some more.
Oh, so they do like small charges and then a big one?
Yes.
Oh, have you been hacked before or frauded before?
I've had that happen before, so it's like that's why I always check my bank account.
Yep.
Sure.
Smart.
Plus, I'm like about weird with money, so I'm
that's
like,
fine.
Okay, yeah. And then we took Andrew Davis and Gio out for dinner last night.
Where'd you go
for their engagement like dinner because they just recently got engaged.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go to Dumpling Inn Shanghai Saloon for because they never had Kung Pao sea bass. We get there and I'm like. Usually the Asian places are usually only closed on Mondays.
Okay.
But this was closed Monday and Tuesday. So we ended up at Steamy Piggy, which was totally fine.
That one's fun. Yeah.
I like
really
that
good.
one. It was good.
They have really good little like
plus
the
Steamy
buns.
Piggy kind of sounds fetishy, so I'm
Bulgogi
like...
The bulgogi fries were out.
Oh, I haven't had the fries.
Like a little sassy fry with some kimchi on it. And
A sassy fry?
Yeah, a sassy little fry. That's like me. I'm
Yeah.
a sassy fry. But yeah, that was really good. And I was very so this didn't happen to me, but I thought this was really interesting. Taylor Swift recently played like her last... I think it was her last stop in her Eras tour of the U.S., and it was in Denver.
Okay.
And they actually the crowd created a 2.3 magnitude earthquake from all the jumping and screaming and everything happening there, that it actually created a 2.3 magnitude earthquake in Denver. Like, which is actually, it beat out, there was a previous one from, like, I think the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, did I say Denver? I think I meant Seattle. I'm so sorry. Seattle. But it beat out the Seattle Seahawks, who also created during one of their games a earthquake, but it beat them out by, like, I think 0.2 on the...
so was it just, like, from their jumping?
From jumping, sound...
So
everything.
If you have too much fun in Seattle, you could
that's
fall
what it sounds
off
like.
America. You can just fall right off. The whole city.
But also, like, Eras has created so much money. Even, like, there are countries reaching out to Taylor Swift to come to their country because she has created so much economic uplift within the communities where she performed at.
Yeah.
And I think that is so cool.
Well, because people will travel to, like, I think what people will do is they get the tickets wherever they are, and then they'll just, like, travel wherever it is.
Well, like with Beyonce, when Renaissance started, people were flying out to, like, Reykjavik or something like that, where she was starting the tour.
Because you could get tickets there,
and it would be cheaper to do that.
The flight was cheaper than buying the aftermarket.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it's all because of the Ticketmaster surcharge.
Yeah, exactly.
So they
like
did
$400.
Jesus. So then, did that like have like a aftershock or no?
No, it probably
guess
didn't have
not.
any aftershocks, but it was like very interesting because the guy, there was like they recorded the seismic activity over 10 to 12 hours during that day, and it
Did they just have like a seismometer or something near them?
I'm just thinking like
Did you ever see what was the movie where?
Tremors with Reba McEntire.
Oh no, not that one. But I love. Okay, Tremors 3 with the ass blasters is the best.
Ass blaster.
Have you seen Tremors 3?
No.
Okay, Tremors 1 is good, and Tremors 2 because in the one they can't walk, they're underground. The second one they're able to walk, and then the third one they can fly.
Well, Ass Blasters just sounds like a gay rap group.
Right. But there's the girl and she's like, "Oh my god, there's those ass blasters." I love that movie. I'm going to watch that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway,
I guess it's time to move on to our favorite segment that we still keep around even in our 4th season.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation. All right, Joe. So what are you obsessed with? What's giving you life?
Trump getting indicted.
Ooh, for another one.
Yeah.
January 6th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did it come through?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he has like 72 felony counts against him.
And now, and Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to impeach
Joe Biden.
No, she wants to impeach. Is it Smith or is it? I don't know. Who the guy is that the general.
The DOJ.
I don't know. Yeah.
Jack Smith.
I think so. The
Can
guy
you impeach
doing
him?
this. I don't know.
He's like a.
I don't even think Marjorie Taylor Greene knows.
She thinks that you can expunge.
She's from Atlanta, so she probably thinks she should try to give him a peach.
Right.
I think we should just impeach her.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to censure her too. Like so.
Yeah.
She's all about impeaching.
Well, Hunter Biden. Oh, I guess another thing that's giving me life is Hunter Biden's lawyers sent a letter to Congress about Marjorie Taylor Greene's conduct in the hearing where she showed porn, basically. And the beauty of this entire thing is that she basically could potentially be charged for revenge porn. And then the best part is she distributed that picture to all of her like constituents.
Right.
And if one minor got that, that's illegal. So they're getting ready to sue her.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. So that's also giving me life because if her
Laura Boebert.
What's the gay one that's in New York? George? No.
Oh, George Santos. Yeah, George Santos.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, him. I mean, they all, like, the fact that they all have all this, like, I guess, indictments? I don't know. Like, charges against them. It's like, wow. So that's what's giving me life. What's giving you life?
Well, I love that Trump, it was just a couple of days, that his lawyers had gotten word that the indictment was coming. they already got advance notice of it, and he went on record right after that saying, "We know nothing about an indictment."
Oh my God.
Like, he completely lied. Like, okay, just
I'm just like so excited because it's so obvious. Like, there's no arguing against it in a court of law.
It counts to the other, like the Florida one, and there's a third indictment coming.
Yeah, there's like, it's every day is a new indictment. Oh, on a Friday, here, let's indict Trump again.
It's like RuPaul's Drag Race. It's a new indictment in the workroom.
Yes.
Puts the end dick.
Oh Lord.
So anyway, so it's my turn. I have two things.
Mm-hmm.
First off, are mochi donuts. Mochi donuts are amazing.
The bracelet donuts.
Yes.
Yeah,
Little anal beady.
Yeah, little anal beady as a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
But like, they're so delicious because we went after we had dinner last night. We were walking and Gio saw a mochi nut place, and he was like, "Oh my God, if you guys ever had mochi donuts, we'll get you some."
Yeah.
So I also picked up a box for work, and oh my God, they're
Where'd you
delicious. Over on Convoy. So mochi nut,
right near
Dumpling Inn. Shanghai Saloon.
There's one in Hillcrest, I think.
No.
Jellabong, they have mochi donuts there.
Oh, do they? Okay.
But they're not like.
Well, this one had like original French toast, churro, coffee, ube.
Yeah. I love ube.
Ube was really good. I tried that today, and it was delicious. Yeah. So
damn,
they didn't have any chocolate when we were there, but like I will try that next time I go.
I love ube.
So they were delicious. And then the other thing I'm obsessed with is Extraordinary on Hulu. It is a show from the UK, and it's about a world full of people with powers, and about a woman who was born and she never got her power when she turned 18, like most people do.
Oh.
So it's a really cool, and I know it's somewhat of a tired trope because it happens a lot and it's all these like different things. But this one takes it even more interesting because like you go to the dentist, and the dentist, her power is she creates the soundtrack for like how people are feeling when they come in. So there's all this ominous music playing because, and the girl walks in, she's like, "Can you hear that?" She's like, "Oh yeah, that's my superpower."
Oh.
Or there's like
every time she said bad news, it would like the music would get more on.
Right.
The dentist's like, "I can't listen to this."
Oh, this sounds good.
Yeah, it's super funny.
It's on what platform?
It's on Hulu. It's called
Okay.
Extraordinary. It is crass and everything, but it's so good. So check it out if you want to. And then we're gonna ask our guests this week. Chris Frick is here with us. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
So, what's giving you life, Chris? Tell our listeners what's giving you life this week.
Well, first comment, there's actually a few book series that remind me a lot about Extraordinary. The trilogy young adult fiction, young adult fantasy. What's giving me life, though, right now, I can't say specifically what it is because my friend asked me not to, but he gave me extremely good news when he asked asked a very specific question to his boyfriend's parents.
Oh, yay!
That's
So they're gonna finally bottom.
He wanted to make sure his parents were going to be proud.
Yeah.
They no longer have to hide the double-ended dildo.
Oh my God. Speaking unrelated, but we're at the cast party. There was a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's in the chorus, and then he was hosting one of the Mexico City chorus members, and I was like, "You totally need to sleep with him." He's like, "We can't. We're both bottoms," and I was like, "Get a double-ended dildo." I feel like that would be interesting to watch.
They sell them in so many places.
Yeah.
Do bottoms scissor? Like lesbians?
Two bottoms together?
No? Okay.
I never thought about that.
All I know is it doesn't take two bottoms to make a thing go right.
Okay, Michelle Forsage. What else is giving you life, if anything?
So many books, so little time. Reading my current book that I'm reading that is extremely interesting is actually, if I'm reading it correctly, it's based off of South American mythology. It's a book called Black Sun.
Okay.
It has a lot of mystic elements to it. It has a lot of magic. And the only thing that I really don't like about the book is it doesn't stick to a timeline. Like, it'll follow one character, then it will go and follow another character, and then it will go into like a flashback of one of the other characters. And I've read enough books like it that I'm able to pay attention, but if it was like the first book I was reading and I wanted just something to hook my attention, I probably wouldn't have started with it.
Do they talk a lot about Quetzalcoatl? Is that what the name of the god is?
What did you say?
Something like that. Quetzalcoatl.
Say-
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Say it again.
It's a Mayan god,
The
right?
winged serpent.
Yes.
They do have winged serpents in the book, but they aren't Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, there you go.
Quetzalcoatl.
So I obviously was way off.
First, I want to ask a question. We're talking about books, and Chris still has his shirt on. So what's that all about? Because if you don't know, one of Chris's interests and things on Instagram is to do shirtless book reviews.
Oh, I was like, I don't know the connection.
Reading is fundamental.
I know. I was like, damn, you read. Good for you.
So when you talk about books on Instagram, you get X number of followers. When you talk about books without
Shirtless,
a shirt on
yeah.
Instagram, you get even more.
There you go.
Exponentially, you get as the shirt comes off. Exponentially, you get more.
Just
The old
work with
saying, sex
Oprah.
sells.
It does. Yeah.
Oh, well, that means we can get right into what we're going to talk about this
Yes.
week. I'm excited because okay, so to put this out there for our listeners, what we're going to talk about this week is pup play. If you don't know what that is, you've probably seen it. It's where people.
Let him.
Yeah, I'll have our
Expert.
guest.
I am by no means an expert.
You're an expert. You're the expert in the room.
I'll have him explain it.
Fair.
But with that being said, I come in with my own set of biases and preconceived notions of what this is and how I feel about it, and I'm trying to be open-minded about where this is going to go and learning more about this. So, and I hope our listeners are too, just so that because I think it is a very interesting topic to talk about.
See, I know nothing about it, which is like I'm excited to learn.
See, and there you go.
I only know what I've seen, and I feel like I haven't really learned much. So that's why it's going to be.
Talk to somebody
Yeah.
who is kind of in that environment.
Community,
Right, yeah.
So, Chris, will you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and why you're here?
So I was invited to talk specifically more about pup play. I have a few different aliases that I go by. One of them is Pup Mephisto.
Oh.
It's my pup name that I use in the leather community. I picked that pup name because I related with a demon from German mythology, Mephistopheles.
Okay. Now, when you say that, like when you're in the community, is it actually Pup Mephisto or is it just Mephisto?
Pup Mephisto.
Okay.
Pup Mephisto if you nasty.
There's no speaking involved if it gets nasty. Typically, so pup play, or at least how I've come to understand pup play, is it's one of the many dominant and submissive roles. This one, it gives the submissive more anonymity. It allows them to escape and give themselves an additional persona where they don't have to really think about their day-to-day life, and they can literally don a mask and not have to worry about making any decisions, which is a common theme in many dominant and submissive roles. Pup play gets mistaken with, or a lot of pups will be associated with furries, which is a completely different
Yes.
thing.
But oftentimes lumped together underneath the leather community. We've known some people in the leather community, and they're always kind of like, we're pretty open-minded, and people people on the fringes of sexual experimentation. They kind of gravitate to the leather community as a place to
Just show their freak.
or they're more accepting of fetishes or whatever. But like that's an interesting kind of dynamic that furries, pup play. There's a couple of different things that kind of all align with the leather community, even if they're not really related to the leather community.
Yes, and there are quite a few pups that are furries as well, and they incorporate their pup persona into their, I think the term is called fursona.
Oh.
Pretty sure it's called fursona.
I like that.
It sounds sweaty.
Right.
You're dressed up in a giant mascot costume. It's going to get sweaty quickly.
What if you're in a very well air-conditioned room?
in a fur coat.
Right.
Head-to-toe fur coat where you just have these two-way eyes to look through.
I'm sure. Is there like I don't know if you've like been in a furry costume, but like right?
Unicorn
Think
suit
of what if they have like actual air conditioning units in the thing? So we're all like thinking they're sweating, and they're like, "Oh no, you're actually
I
sweating
don't think it's
outside."
that advanced.
That is actually.
Have I uncovered a potential market?
I will tell you.
Curiosity.
I will tell you. I wore one of those like inflatable costumes once as like a snowman, and there's a fan in there, but it does not keep you cool.
Not related to a sexual play.
Yeah, that's
situation.
a different. Like I think, like for that, that's a different whole other community.
So you want to build a snowman?
Oh my!
Do you want to blow a snowman? So anyway, you were saying, Chris, we digress.
Going down a rabbit hole here, there is always so much fun. But yeah, pup play. I've been in the pup community for, I would have to say, since 2017, 2018, so a few years.
And how did you get into it?
Yeah, how did you find it?
Started talking with a bunch of other pups in the leather community while I was trying to find out where my little niche and corner of it all would be. And I just found that I really enjoyed the not having to really rely on expressing emotions. I could just show through actions what I was feeling. I could use my eyes to express practically everything, and if I had a resting bitch face that night, nobody could tell. Although I will say straws are your best friend because there's just a little mouth hole to drink through.
Okay, so pup play is more reactive than anything else.
I would have to say it is a very hyper energetic role in submissives.
Okay.
Where you have some submissives are, well, you get this in pup play too. Some submissives are very stoic. Some submissives have very little leeway, very little room where they're like in a strict role of dominant and submissive. Whereas pup play, you have more of the, I'll refer to it as a dehumanizing factor, where you're acting as a puppy. And if you've ever pup-sat a puppy, I mean, like an actual biological dog, they're a ball of chaos.
Yeah.
Normally. Mm-hmm. So it has that more, playful submissive without going like full bratty.
So walk us through kind of like from start to end. Like do you like, is it a session? Like, or like you say you're like gonna go and I guess have I don't even know what to call it, an event, an encounter?
A play session.
Right, there you go. Like what does, like,
work.
From start to end, like what does that look like? Like how does it work?
So from a sexual aspect, it mirrors just a regular dominant submissive role.
Okay.
More often than not, at least in my own personal experience, they, instead of being referred to as boy, they would refer to me as pup.
Okay.
I'd be on my hands and knees, walking around sometimes. Sometimes I would just be on my hands and knees on the bed. And when it comes to the sexual component of it, behind closed doors, there really isn't much difference between your regular... calling it regular is kind of odd. But your
Vanilla.
I'm not going to say vanilla. Your dominant submissive play.
So you're reverse cowgirls.
Well, it's easy to do reverse cowgirl when your hands are tied behind your back.
There you go. I don't even know what that is. I just know it's a name.
We'll show you later.
Oh! Do I have to have my hands tied behind my back?
Only if you want to.
Okay.
Is there always a dominant presence in pup play, or is it sometimes just a collection of pups?
There's not always that dominant presence. There are many different dynamics, much like with most fetish relationships. Certain pack dynamics are you have like a group of pups and they're all just a part of a pack together. Sometimes they actually follow the stereotypical social hierarchy of a pack where you have your alphas, your alpha, your betas, and your omegas that are a part of the pack. And then you have some packs that have a handler and a bunch of pups that follow the handler. I've seen and talked to packs where, in some cases, the only thing holding that pack together is all the betas and all the omegas want to fuck the alpha, And then there's pack dynamics like the pack that I'm currently in, Pack Safe Haven, where we're a very community-oriented pack, where it's literally in our pack name where we try and create safe havens and safe and fun events for the pup community to just kind of get together and have that environment where they can express themselves and just not have to worry.
So does it always have to be sexual, or that's just an aspect of it?
It does not always have to be sexual. That is definitely just an aspect of it.
Okay.
Like the pack that I'm currently in, there isn't much sexual. What's the words I'm thinking of?
Interplay.
Yes, we don't like get together and just have like a massive orgy together whenever we have these pack meetings. Most of the times, our pack meetings are either just to check up on each other or they're to plan future events. Like the pack meeting that I'm going to be having with my pack tonight, later tonight, is to discuss future events like coffee socials, what we want to do for our next Rawhide event, because our first event for Rawhide kicked off during Pride and was actually very successful. So we're hoping to kind of hammer out some of the details that didn't quite work and will work better next time, as well as possibly pick up with maybe a few other events like a picnic social, try and incorporate spaces where pups who aren't 21 can come and attend.
Okay. So I know within the pack, there's all these pups and blah blah blah. So what is in that role of submissive, and what is it like a master, or what is the more...
Typically the term would be handler for
Okay.
any of the handler or alpha.
Okay.
Depending on if the dominant is a fellow pup, they would typically be alpha. Or
Okay.
they could be handler to a bunch of pups and be
because
a beta themselves.
the alpha doesn't necessarily, or the handler doesn't necessarily have to be a pup. It's just the person who...
Yes, the person who reigns in the chaos.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you imagine if Chelsea Handler wasn't a pup play and she'd be the Chelsea Handler?
That would be awesome.
No.
Is somebody if you're in pup play, would your name be Mark Ruffalo?
I saw that. Wait, I think you might have said that. No, did you post it or something? It was like, Mark Ruffalo sounds like the legal name of a dog.
So, okay. So what kind of gear do you need for this kind of like pup play?
Like if someone were going for the first
So
time.
somebody were going for the first
Right.
time, or getting
Pup
started.
play for
Pup play for dummies.
Thank you. I cannot say it. Pup play. Why am I trying to say plup play?
Okay, that's
Everything
totally
you say
different.
sounds like butt play.
Exactly.
What can I say?
So, for people who are just starting out into the pup community or who are unsure if they actually want to dive headfirst into it, you better safe than sorry, just follow the hanky code. There's pup bone handkerchiefs and like other dog paw prints. I actually brought one with me. Here we are.
Oh my
That's
god!
cute.
Visual aids. This is-
Okay.
The handkerchief that I have is just this this blue with yellow dog bones on it.
And what does that mean?
Pup play.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
Really?
you were like pup play into pee.
No,
The water sports because of the yellow.
Oh my god! Wow, y'all got like so much to learn. Like, how
Oh, I love it. As
do
a
you
little,
go
like-
about learning
Yeah.
these things? Like,
So the hanky code has been around for a long time.
Okay.
4 decades. 5 decades.
The origins of it actually go back to settlers moving west. It was originally a way to tell who was lead and who was follow dance partners, because there wouldn't be women traveling west at first. It was only men.
oh,
So right side was for follow, left side was for lead.
huh?
Okay, so left side top or giver, right side is bottom or receiver.
Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly it.
No shit.
Well, and long before the hanky code, there were other signals that the gay community adopted
Right.
throughout the world to.
But like
Signal.
red means fisting,
Scarlet
brown
red is double
means
fisting.
Yeah, brown means.
Flesh it down.
So anyway, but
Brown,
like
brown is a whole other topic that I don't think anybody wants to hear spoken out loud.
and like you also have like a mask that you use?
I actually have 2 different pup hoods.
And like, okay, so it's a pup hood. Okay.
Yes, I have a half hood, which is my favorite, and then I have a full hood, which covers everything to include the ears.
Okay.
Do you have a tail?
I do have a tail.
Oh.
I don't have a belt tail. It is a plug tail.
Oh, I was going to ask, how do you attach it?
Yeah. Like,
And for our listeners, where does it plug into?
Put that in the bag.
Yeah.
Plug it in, plug it
Put that in the
in.
bag.
Yeah.
I did bring it with me.
Oh,
Because the
okay.
fun thing about these plug tails is if you have a fine motor control of your sphincter muscles, you can actually make it wag just like this.
Kegel exercises, people.
That's awesome.
It's in the butt, everyone.
What in the butt? Say,
I
what,
love
what
that
in the
song.
butt?
We went to an event. Where was it?
No, we were at a bar in Fresno.
In Fresno, California, and they were
And they
having
had
an
a
event
pup.
that night.
They had a pup meetup. There was a lot of people, but a guy had like a belt tail and everything. So like when you do that kind of stuff, do you feel like, especially like just in a regular gay bar, you're just having a meetup? Do you feel like people are looking at you? Do you feel a little?
Oh, without a doubt, people will stare.
Yeah.
But that's with, you could walk into a bar with just a leather vest and people will stare.
True.
You know? But yeah, as far as basic gear, just a simple dog bone handkerchief would be enough if you're just starting into pup play. Finding your color hood would be the next step.
What does that mean?
A lot of people will choose their hood based on what their fetishes are. So my first hood was a military camo pattern because I hadn't yet found what I was interested in other than uniforms.
So whenever
Okay.
he would go out, people would be like, "Who's that headless person?" over
Right.
But then my half hood I picked gray because I really like bondage.
there?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So
And,
you do reverse cowgirl.
I didn't even see. Does your full hood have ears on it?
It does, yes.
Okay, and like, how hot is that?
Right.
It gets stuffy, but it doesn't get too hot.
Do you have to talc it down like leather people do when they put on a full leather?
No, I don't have to do that. It's a neoprene
Yeah,
hood,
it's a
so
neoprene, so it's kind of light.
yeah,
What's
there
neoprene?
are
There's a stretch to it. Neoprene, there's stretch to it, babe. I love
So it's
that.
easily washed. So is it like not dishwasher safe?
you can wash it pretty easy.
Now
Oh.
for your full
Oh.
that's a different. Oh, that's the camo one.
Yeah, this is
and,
light.
And then do you get sized for that?
That's soft.
There are
Right?
They come in multiple different sizes. I think this one was one of the earlier Mr. S hoods. I think it's
Oh.
a large.
I love the ears.
Are they so one of my questions I wanted to ask is like, how expensive do these things get, right?
Really expensive.
Really?
I bought my first...
I mean, don't divulge your financial investments in that, but for example, hypothetically, someone else, how much would something like a hood cost?
So I bought my first Mr. S hood for... Oh gosh, I think it was around $60.
Okay.
So they're not terribly expensive.
Right.
It's not like going full cow with a full leather ensemble
Yeah,
that
I mean-
basically is a down payment.
But
on a
you
car.
could-
Harness nowadays is like $150.
But like a
A
hood
good
could be
leather harness is around
100 to 150
Wow.
on this
Yes.
on Mr. S website.
Some of
Oh,
them,
those are really cute though. I
Some
like
of
the
them-
neon
yeah.
one.
they do get really expensive.
Oh,
but they're
$150. Of course, that's the one I
that's a
like.
good-
They're
They're
also really well made, and some of them
Right.
are actually also custom. So you can like customize the different patches. You can choose
Okay.
specific colors.
And do those colors mean certain things to you?
Yeah,
They
that's what I was going to
can.
ask.
They don't have to.
So a lot of pups will pick their hood color based on their own fetishes. Like I said, my half hood that I picked up, I picked gray because I was big into bondage. And other pups, they pick their color just by their favorite color.
Okay.
Like there's a few pups that I know that have red hoods and red harnesses, but they're not into fisting.
Oh, so is there like a
Interesting, yeah.
code? Is it like red means this, yellow means
That's
this?
the hanky code.
That's
yeah.
the hanky code.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
So it follows that convention.
Yeah, it follows
So
the
is it
exact same hanky code.
Oh, is that universal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hanky code.
I've
Yes.
never heard of this. So if I'm like out and about and like there's like a night where it's like a themed night based off of a color and I don't know that I'm wearing like a color.
You put a hanky in your pocket.
Oh,
Typically, handkerchiefs in the back pocket are how they're represented. There's also the leather or neoprene cuffs that can go on either side.
Okay.
Armbands are another way that it can be
I love those
expressed.
Right.
So I've also seen people with like a chain around their neck and a lock. Is that a signal?
That is a signifier that they are owned or collared by somebody.
Oh.
But that could be related to pup, but it could be related to another dominant, submissive kind
It is related to the fetish world in its entirety.
Okay.
Okay.
So pup play is just a small percentage of the fetish world, right?
It is a very small percentage.
Really?
But it's gaining more traction, especially amongst cisgendered straight people. Like you're seeing a lot more of that, especially within the submissive dominant world.
That's what I was going to ask. Like,
It's-
females, like genetic females,
Yes.
will also like no discrimination against whatever you are.
Nope.
That's kind of fun.
Fetishes. What my own personal belief in fetishes is that there are no gender boundaries.
Okay.
You can have a fetish. You can be male. You can be female. You can be trans. You can be whatever you are. And a fetish is a fetish.
Could you be a drag pup?
Yes. You
Oh.
probably could. I don't know if I've seen any drag pups. Or any pups that do drag as well.
Interesting.
But I'd say it would be
Sure, there
okay.
could be, yeah. So now, what type of personality or breed are you within your pack?
So I am a guard dog.
Oh.
Okay.
I love to take care of people. I love to make sure that people are having a good time, that they feel safe. Typically, whenever I get into a submissive headspace, especially in my pup headspace, you'll see me like watching the bags. I will work the door for security at a lot of the events, or I will work clothing check and just make sure that people know that their stuff can be taken care of. It also helps that I have my security, my guard card, and have worked private security and bar security and worked for security companies in the past.
Right, because there's like all different personalities, just based on like your own personality and how you feel, but also it plays into different personalities within dogs. Because like
Yes.
there's some who are poodles and they like being effeminate and playful and doted on.
And the one fun thing about pup play, but it's also I'll say primal play. I'll give it that label as a kind of broader subject, because you don't have just pups. You also have cats and foxes, and there's horses from pony play that will sometimes show up at events.
Oh.
I want to do cat play because I just want to sit there and judge people and not do anything, and every once in a while knock something off the counter.
just that red solo cut that you know more.
Yes. I don't know, somebody goes, don't do it. I'm like,
And then you run away and go. So
You don't know me.
So for personality types, is it common or uncommon for individuals that do this to kind of like assume an alter ego that is completely opposite of who they are, like in their like day-to-day lives?
And therein lies the reason that we get lumped in with the furry crowd.
Okay.
Because that is often why people get drawn to donning a mask and having what they want to be perceived as, or what they think is their best feature, or want to be their best feature to be displayed. It goes into the whole psychology behind masks that we wear. And I really like that. I like that sociology, like rabbit hole, going down and seeing like why people put on a mask, why people get into different personas when they want to pup out, why people get into different personas when they have when they're getting into the furry scene, or when they're getting into their submissive role, what kind of headspace they want to portray when they get into that scene.
I feel like it's kind of like drag, because it's like you go into it and it's like it unleashes something you didn't know was there, or you kind of knew it was there, but this is just a different way for you to release it.
That's
It's
one
like
of
empowering.
yeah.
Right?
And so like
Only less stand-up comedy.
with well, with that being said, it's like how do you transfer that, or has it transferred into your everyday life? Like, how do you carry that with you, or do you at all, or is it something you just keep separate? You compartmentalize it.
I've gotten better at compartmentalizing it. but I have almost barked at people at work.
Oh,
I bark at people all the time.
Like,
I bark orders, bitch.
There is sometimes I will almost slip up, or I will slip up and just go bark bark.
Oh, but
that's so like, but like that was like kind of like subdued. But is that like how you would do it?
There would be other times where I've heard people say that they've whined at work, like they've let out a whimper, they've let out other noises. Me, myself, I don't really whimper because it is difficult for me to like portray cowering to somebody.
Yeah. Huh.
Because for me, it's always just like sarcastic barking or just a couple of growls here or there. Or just staring people down because dark hair, bright eyes is kind of intimidating sometimes.
So Joe, what personality type or what kind of dog would you be if you were into pup play?
Well, so when I was reading the scholarly article that I read,
He's a corgi.
I feel like I feel like I would enjoy pup play because one of the things that they have as like the 5 themes of it is relaxation, therapy, and escape from self. Mm-hmm. And they basically say that being a puppy offers people an opportunity to let go of adult responsibilities and instead embrace a joyful exuberance by expectations about appropriate behavior from being an adult. So there's like an escape, whatever, where it's like,
adult?
I'm an adult, I know. But like, I feel like it's kind of cool because it's like you just let it all go and like there's no judgment and you're just kind of like in the moment and like having fun and like it kind of is what it is, right?
So what kind of dog would you be?
I don't know what I would be. I'd have to like, I don't know. Do you pick, like, are you a specific breed or is it just qualities and attributes?
Just different quality. For me, qualities and attributes. If I had to pick a dog breed that would most accurately depict how I present myself, it would be either a wolf hybrid or Doberman.
I was going to say Doberman.
Doberman because they're guard dogs, yeah.
Or just that...
The guard dog.
I wouldn't say pit bull because they're too cuddly and the floppy face would just be too funny to watch.
Yeah.
I would be a lab, I think, just because I'm like kind of like out there and kind of aloof.
I'm a Chihuahua. I'm very anxious, and I think I can beat up people more than I think I can.
You might no, maybe
I like
you're
to start
maybe
shit.
maybe are you a Great Dane because they're really anxious?
No,
but they don't have to start shit.
Everyone's just scared of it.
Yeah,
They're just scared of everything.
So when you're in doing pack play, like, does it get aggressive? And like, you know, how when dogs, like, do you have to correct?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know, that kind of thing. And how does that work?
Yeah, like, what's the social?
What's the social aspect of this pack play kind of thing?
So, I've seen a couple of different variations. Like with my pack specifically, we'll get together for like game nights. We will just sort of just hang out, and all of our personalities just really mesh well together. So you have pack dynamics where you do get along with everybody, and then there are other pack dynamics where some people will get their feelings hurt or their toes will get stepped on, sometimes literally, sometimes figuratively. And
like a dog.
Yeah, exactly. And so the role of alpha and the betas in the pack will be to sometimes do damage mitigation or to play mentor and life coach.
Wow.
Because a lot of things that I love about any dominant and submissive role is when you are in the dominant role, you take on somewhat of like a life coach at times. Like you make sure that they're taken care of during the scene. You make sure that they're in a good headspace, because if they're in a very bad headspace, or if they had just like a very horrible day at work where they aren't enjoying anything at the moment, or they're in like a downward depression spiral, you're not going to tie them up and beat them, because that's just going to make it worse. So you sometimes will, unless that's how they get better.
Yeah,
they unwind.
They like that.
There are caveats to everything, but in the dominant role, you have to make sure that you are attentive and aware of the submissive, and make sure that their needs are met as well as your own.
So crazy, because
what's really interesting about this is that like a lot of dominant submissive is very one-on-one. like there's a dominatrix and some, like that kind of thing. But this is more social, where there's a community of people in that structure.
Yes.
So you're not alone in submission.
That
Are
is
most
exactly.
of the members submissive? Is that kind of the reality of it?
Yes and no. Sometimes you'll have a group of pups that all of them are submissive, and they'll kind of trade off with who will play DD for the night, or who will be that emotional support pup if everybody is drinking.
The emotional support animal.
Yes.
It's so much more. It's crazy to me because it's like I thought it was only sex, and I'm learning now that there's so much more to it, and it's a community aspect. Is that something that people are drawn to? Is like you have this community that is, like you had said, like a safe space where you can be yourself, and you have like the support from, well, friends or whatever, right?
That is one of the draws that I've heard or that I have discussed with people. Is that sense of belonging, finding that group where you can be just your dynamic, weird self, or however you want to portray yourself as, and it won't be shunned.
Huh.
Are these events you do? Are they at individuals' like houses? Or are they at like places out and about? Or where do you guys get together?
So, I'll use my coffee socials as an example. So I will host a pack coffee social where we will just get together, have a cup of coffee, just see people out and about, and not have to like fully get up in pup gear, and just have a relaxing time and talk to people. And I will also use that time to recommend a book or two, because it's just me.
With or without a shirt?
Because it's typically at Lestat's or at some other coffee shop, I have to have my shirt on.
Ugh.
Right?
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Right.
But I do have this blue tank top that is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo, but it says Mighty Morphin Power Bottoms.
Okay.
So I'll wear that sometimes.
Okay. All right. So my question is twofold. First of all, is bark within the pup play community the kind of like girl? So you can say it in a different way, but it means different things. Like bark, bark,
Kind of.
bark. Is it kind of like that?
Kind of. I will do that, and some people will catch on. Other times, it'll just be like whimpering. It'll be panting. It'll be like you see golden retrievers will just do the casual lean onto people.
Okay. And then the other thing is, so when you go to people's houses for events, is it kind of like there's giant fenced off area? Is there like a dog house and stuff that people can go into?
Sometimes it gets very elaborate. Other times you just get like the foam pads that you would see in middle school, lay them all over the ground, and it'd be like a big puppy mosh.
Okay.
And we've hosted events at bars where we will sometimes have a little like puppy mosh corner with the mats out, and it'll be fenced off with like dog toys and treats and such. Other times we won't have that corner for pups to mosh, because it might be like a tripping hazard or a stepping hazard. When my pack co-hosted Rough Play, this was a while ago, the little puppy mosh pit on the dance floor didn't work out too well, because it was on a very dark dance floor and people were getting stepped on.
Oh no.
And there would be times where some people would have a plug tail, and somebody on the dance floor would literally just grab the tail and yank real hard and pull it out.
Nope.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Nope.
Okay.
So I only
Actually-
heard that happen once.
Nope.
That night. But when I was traveling to San Francisco, when I was going to Palm Springs, I would hear stories like that a lot.
When,
Oh my God.
When you have meetings, and obviously in a public place it may be different, but when you're having a normal meeting with your group in a private home, is this basically naked play, or is it clothed, and how does it gravitate from the social communal part to something sexual?
So for my pack specifically, there really isn't much sexual play during our pack meetings. Or we might like have a big cuddle puddle and watch a movie where we have all of our clothes on. For other packs, there will be there would typically be like a common area for people who don't want to play that night or who aren't feeling too comfortable with the sexual aspect of it that night. And then there'll be like a separate room for people who want to have that sexual experience and have the be put in doggy for the entire night. Because there were house parties that I've been to where it was a puppy house party, where downstairs there was karaoke, there was a little mosh pit area, there was a bunch of really delicious beef jerky snacks.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, you said treats, and I'm like, are these human treats or dog treats?
Pizza, popcorn, vegetables, alcohol.
So real food that you can
real
eat.
food that we could actually eat, as well as chew toys, because what pup doesn't want to like squeak a chew toy and then throw it at somebody?
Yes.
So,
and then the second floor would be where if tensions got high and you wanted to just fuck the tension away and then come back downstairs for a snack, you could.
Okay.
how far, when you're doing your pup play, does that fantasy go? Like, are we talking just like barking and playing around, or are we talking like full on peeing on a tree, pooping outside?
I can't say empirically that it doesn't go that far for some people.
Okay.
Because there are people who are on the extreme end of the spectrum where they want to literally be treated like a dog. And there are other aspects where it's just a little bit lighter, where they have the puphood, they want to be referred to as their pup name, but they won't bark or growl or join in on the puppy mosh. They just want to be included in.
Or they just want to be sprayed in the face with a water bottle.
Well, I mean, when the hood and leather gets really warm, everybody likes that.
Do you kind of feel like this is a persona you take on as an escape, or is this more of who you really are? And you live a different persona day to day because you have to work or you have to exist in a community?
For me personally, it's developed more into who I am or how I want to approach events. So I've gained a lot of confidence from my pup persona. I've gained a lot of what's the words I'm thinking of? I've gained a lot of perspective, and I can be both confident, I can be that guard dog in real life, and I can also make sure people are taken care of, but I don't have to like bark at people, and I don't have to like wear a mask to show that I can be confident and protective. So my pup persona, when I first started pup play, was to show that side of me, where I can be that stoic guard dog. And I gained the confidence to be able to show that in my personal life as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, like, what are some like downsides to this? Like, is it flea and tick season? Is it like what? Like, I just need to know.
There are a lot of stigmas.
That's what I was going to ask.
And more often than not, well, this goes with a lot of different social groups, people don't approach an anonymous way to showcase themselves or anonymous escape from something without having a bit of baggage behind it. So a lot of times, those of us in the community that have been in the community for a while will end up playing mentor and will end up mentoring others and kind of helping people get their footing or get back on track with what they want their life to be.
Now, did you have any preconceived notions or baggage on you that you needed to work through before, like when you started into this community?
Yes, I still have quite a bit of baggage, but that's just life experiences. 8 years in the military, all my life growing up, there were difficulties, and I carried that baggage with me for a while, and it allowed me a way to just kind of escape from all those troubles, put on a different persona, act more confident than I actually was, waggle my eyebrows, bark at people, and just have fun.
Okay.
Therapeutic. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Almost like a sensory deprivation tank, except you don't have to fall asleep.
And it's probably cheaper.
Oh, much cheaper.
Because those are like $80 an hour. I looked.
Have you ever done it?
No,
done it.
This was
We've done it,
this was
Flo.
last week, and I was like, I was like, oh, like where? Because I heard that it's like amazing where you basically like are zen, and then I looked at the pricing and I was like, oh, I don't want to be zen for that much.
Look on like Groupon. You can
Oh.
always get a Groupon.
Well, I don't know who, but I feel like someone tertiarily or whatever, like a friend of a friend or whatever, told me a story where they were like in it and they forgot that like he or she was in it still, and they like were there for longer than they had to be, and it's like, well, do I go now? Like,
There's also stories of people absolutely tripping balls just from their own mental implosion.
I just like the floating aspect. I don't know, like, because I like taking baths and everything, but like you float, right? Like
Right.
you don't
It's a very,
sink.
are
like, a
negatively
very
pointed.
dense salt water, so you float and you don't really feel anything.
But it's
afterward.
dark.
Yeah, I mean,
Dark
I
and
was
quiet.
I was not.
so there's no sound. There's no, and it's like an
You
egg.
couldn't turn
You
off
have
your own
wax.
mind.
You're
Yeah, I
plugged
could turn
in.
off my-
Really?
There,
Oh, so you don't hear, like, literally there's no sound.
you don't hear anything other than the creaking of your own bones.
Yeah,
I
your
would be-
heartbeat and your breathing.
I would
becomes-
fixate on my heartbeat, and I would be like, oh.
I
Fuck.
couldn't shut my brain off, so it was not good for me. I was like, oh, this is not.
Maybe I'll do
relaxing.
it. Maybe I'll do it next week, and then we can talk about it.
It's a fun experience. It is definitely.
I've
a
wanted
fun
to do it, yeah, because I think there's some
There's
in
one
Hillcrest.
right up
Yeah,
in
on
Hillcrest
4th.
near what will soon to be the new Hamburger Mary's.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love Hamburger Mary's.
We are.
We are getting off topic here. Joe, do you have anything else? For
No, I think I was going to ask the stigma question. Like, what would you tell somebody that may not have any real awareness of pup play, like that might have some preconceived notions? Like, what would you tell like the public?
So pup play, for one, is not furry. We are not fursonas.
I love that.
It's just, it's an easy way to get into whether or not you are like a full submissive, or if it just isn't for you and you just like the aesthetic of leather. It's an easy way to determine where you fall on the fetish spectrum,
Nice.
or at least submissive wise.
It's not their persona; it's their puppernality.
Oh my god.
Got it. Get it. Like personality, but it's.
I mean, you're fairly open about your interest on
I got
social
it.
media and stuff. Has there been any fallout? Like, is your family aware of
Oh,
your
that's a good
interest in this,
question.
that kind of thing.
This may sound terrible of me, but I could care less what my family thinks about. After I gained the confidence
Good
to
for
tell
you.
them that I was gay, after I gained the confidence to really just be myself, I stopped caring whether or not they wanted to be in my life or not. If they choose to accept me, they'll accept me. If not, then I'm going to keep going forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and there's no judgment there. I actually think that's really admirable. But have you found like your family accepts you for it, or is there really not? Is that a strained relationship?
From what I understand, they are accepting of me, even though they don't know all the details.
Yeah.
If they find out the details, or if they have found out the details, they haven't talked to me, so I have no idea.
So, and Chris, just so you all know, is also like an onion. There are layers to him. He is an anime addict. What's your favorite anime?
Oh, there are so many. I love Isekai, where it's that reincarnation story. One of my favorite ones is By the Grace of the Gods, and then I have been binge watching this one recently that also teaches you really delicious recipes. Campfire cooking in another world.
Oh, okay. Did
Okay.
you watch Food Wars?
I did, and I laughed hysterically, almost cackling at the sunlight, because they get so like intense orgasms from these
Yeah,
food dishes.
I love
Yes,
Food
they
Wars.
do.
We love that part of it. You know.
I've never
watching
seen
that
the,
show with you. I was like, they are orgasming over this food.
the only anime I
What
watched
is
was
happening?
Bleach.
Bleach
that was
is
like
good.
a long time ago.
Bleach
and
is
then
coming back
Naruto.
with the 100-Year War, where the Quincy's are fighting the Soul Society again.
Oh,
I have to start watching Black Clover.
Okay.
So I heard that's, really good.
Why gotta be
that's
Black
another
Clover?
good one.
Because you know who I heard that from? Megan Thee Stallion. She watched that. I was like, okay, I see you.
Is she the one that interviewed Kamala Harris?
Oh, he watched it on Hot Wings. Where she
I
was
thought
put
of
some
Hot Wings.
spicy sauce.
I was like, ew.
Okay, the fucking Jennifer Lawrence. What do you mean? What do you mean? The memes? That is my favorite.
Yeah.
I love that. That's giving me life too. I know it's at the end of the show.
You, as we've talked, he also does book reviews on Instagram, shirtless,
Yes.
and you also like to cook comfort food. So, what's your favorite comfort food recipe to make?
So it depends on if I want a comfort dessert or if I want just a hearty food to cook. The dessert, I will always default to one of my camping favorites, which is a dark chocolate cherry cobbler.
Ooh, I knew it was a cobbler.
Where instead of using water, you use cherry Coke.
Oh.
You replace all the liquids in it with cherry Coke. You add it to the cake. You add it to the
that
box of
sounds
cake
good.
mix.
Is that like a
and
dump
then-
cake?
Kind of. You also open up a can of cherry pie filling and pour it on top.
But not a can of whoopers.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna tell your comfort food. Is it chicken fried steak?
Nope.
Damn, I feel like I was getting a psychic
so what's your
vision.
savory one?
I have two savory ones. One of them was just recent, actually from Campfire Cooking in Another World. My traditional one that I really love to make is fettuccine alfredo.
Oh.
The traditional way,
Okay.
where it's not the jar of white sauce, and I won't call it Alfredo sauce.
We
It's
make
white
it from
sauce.
scratch here.
Yes,
Sounds like it is eaten this house.
It is Parmesan cheese, butter, fettuccine pasta, and pasta water.
Good.
That's it.
So we've been to Alfredo's in Rome and
Yep.
eaten the real thing, and once you do that, you can't go back.
And also,
Yup.
they don't. If you get it the Roman way, like the way it's supposed to be made, the noodles are super thin. Like
Yup.
here, they're super thick and kind
Yeah.
of dense. There, it's super light. And they give you like a giant portion.
Are you telling me that the Olive Garden's fettuccine alfredo is not?
No.
it's real. It's just different.
Let me tell you that
Nick
Alfredo
thinks
sauce.
yeah,
I
he
will
thinks
go there
that's
just
an
to get
Italian
breadsticks
food.
and Alfredo sauce to dip. Okay,
Right,
don't
I was
even
making
play.
that joke.
You know,
All right,
Paul's comfort food is a jar of Alfredo sauce.
it is. I didn't
Oh,
play
hell
it.
yeah.
So the other comfort food is pot de frite.
What?
Basically, it's a bacon and sausage stew, where it's cabbage, carrots, potatoes, bacon or pork, and sausage links cooked into a stew.
Okay.
Did I spell it wrong?
All right.
P-O-T, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm blanking on the spelling. That's
not it.
Yeah.
So
A pot of comfort food.
P-O-T-D-U-F-R-E, I think. Pot de frite.
Ah, yes, pot de frite. Oui.
There it is.
Pot de fouet.
Pot de... No.
No. There you go. Pot,
There it is.
Pot de fouet.
A-U.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
As we'd say in the South, pot of way.
Yeah, so I have a few different comfort foods. I do like to cook. I need to challenge myself to try and cook without using recipes, but cooking with recipes, it's calming.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. So, how can the people find you on the socials?
So on Instagram, I am Scarlet Widower.
Oh.
On Twitter, I am Pupmafesto.
X. It's X.
That is definitely XXX. That
But like
Oh, you
on
have
Twitter
porn?
or like
Yes.
on X that is like Twitter now X.
No, I was saying
Twitter
it's
now
now
X.
X.
I thought
But
you were
good
saying
thing. So
X as in
if you're
triple X.
if you go on to the Twitter X, you're gonna see some porn.
Yes.
and that, I mean, maybe the X was just destined to be
Right.
their brand.
Do you get paid for any of that?
A little bit, yes.
He's on the
Good.
pay apps as well.
What's
I
the
do
pay
have
It's a
two
collaborator.
I do have two fan sites.
That's great.
And I have done some filming for some small studios as well as an erotic wrestling company. as well.
Put all that.
Oh.
Do you have
Erotic
a promotion
wrestling
there
company?
where fans can go?
How do I
and
get involved
see
in the
you
erotic
on
wrestling
it?
company?
Just go to my Twitter and click the links.
Oh, link in bio.
I do it the lazy way. I do not self-promote myself. I literally started doing it because my friend told me, why post it for free when I can make a quick buck?
100%. Girl, monetize that shit.
Okay.
And then it's just kind of rabbit hole from there, and it's been a lot of fun.
There you go.
All right. So we're gonna do quick fire. Do you have any quick fire questions for me? You forgot. Okay.
Do you have 3?
I do.
Okay, good.
So is it like a first thing that comes to
Yes.
mind type?
First thing that comes to
There
mind.
are no wrong answers.
Correct.
This is good.
What anime character best describes you?
Oh gosh.
These are
Slime.
curated.
That time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Oh, okay. What about you?
The it's Rimuro. He's just a jack of all trades.
Okay. What about you, Joe?
Oh my god, I'm trying to think. I know in Naruto there was like a part where like Orochimaru or whatever, it was like his brother or something died.
Oh, one of the 3 legendary Sanin.
Maybe?
Jiraiya, the pervy sage.
Which is the blue guy with the brother with like the hair? That's like this like hair thing. I'm doing like a bowl cut hair.
Right now, you doing that
there's-
motion just makes me think Sia.
Kind of. No, it's Naruto and it's the guy that wears like the blue cape. It's his friend.
Are you sure you're not the magician from like that other one? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know much anime. No, I would be Totoro from Our Neighbor Totoro.
No, you can't because I'm Totoro.
Then I would be Cat Buzz.
Studio Ghibli is so perfect.
No, I would be. Actually, I really liked Howl from Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, my top 3 favorites from Studio Ghibli would have to be Nazca, The Valley of the Wind, Princess Mononoke, and Grave of the Fireflies.
Princess Mononoke was interesting. It was
Or maybe
a long
it'd be
movie.
who's the guy with the wrist launchers on My Hero Academia? Yeah, who's that one? Bakugo.
Oh, God
Yes.
bless you.
Okay, so I'd be
the
Bakugo
brigade.
because I'm like I have a very short temper. Okay, so the
But
next
you'd be
one
Totoro?
is
You be Totoro.
Totoro or Bakugo.
Okay.
All right, so what pizza chain do you most identify with?
Pizza Hut for childhood reference.
Yes.
They used to give me free pizza for reading books.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can't out pizza the Hut.
Summer book club.
Yup.
What about you?
Yeah.
I'm also Pizza Hut because I'm cheap and you can get me quick.
Okay, I'm Little Caesars. Can you give me $5? I'm hot and ready.
Yeah. But is it after 20 minutes you taste like cardboard?
Maybe.
But you're only good for 20. And then you expire.
And you kind of see double for a while.
Yes, exactly.
Were those the right kind of mushrooms? We'll ask that later.
Last question: if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Germany.
Why?
Oh.
I would travel to Germany not only because it has some significance to my family heritage, but also Folsom, Berlin.
Okay.
What part of Germany?
Berlin.
Berlin specifically? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Folsom, Berlin is a bucket list travel destination because the fetish event that happens there. Yes, Folsom in Berlin is a bucket list trip.
So there's an amazing documentary. I think it's on Netflix about the club in Berlin that was existed through the turn of the century to the 20s, and eventually Hitler closed it. But it was the Gay Trans Club. I forget what the name of this is, but it was such a good documentary about like the freedom that Berlin had about. Gay, trans, all the different communities that we align with, and then how Nazi Germany kind of repressed that. And it's the best part about that documentary was that it's kind of re-happening now. Like that things happen in your politics that allow like the rights and liberties and freedoms that you have to be taken away.
Actually, there's another book, Gay Bar, that also goes
right.
over the history of bars both in London and in LA and San Francisco, that some of them survived the turn of the century and others kind of just went to the wayside to history.
Do they have a lot of pictures in it? Because
There are a few pictures of murals,
I
yeah.
like books with a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I know. I don't read.
The one in El Dorado is like that building still exists, and now it's like a gourmet grocery store. But it used to be this amazing gay club that Cabaret was essentially based on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if they have Amazon returns at El Dorado.
So where would you go, Joe? Besides Spain, because that's where you're going.
Well, I was like, I feel like my always go-to bucket list is Iceland.
Okay.
because I've wanted to see the Aurora Borealis since I've been alive.
But that's also one of those things where it's luck of the draw, because
Right.
you could go there
Mm-hmm.
and the conditions just aren't right. We saw it in Seattle, in Port Townsend, Washington.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
So the only good thing about global warming is because of that, the electromagnetic fields along the north and south poles are like dwindling. So like you have more visibility to the lights.
Awesome.
Yeah, gotta love climate shifting.
Yay!
And
Hey, a
just
positive,
preview-
right?
Preview for next episode. You're about to embark on a new journey.
I'm gonna be Mr. Worldwide. Call me
Oh my
Pitbull.
God, Pitbull!
Dale.
Mr. 619. He's Mr. 305, but you're Mr. 619.
No, I'm Mr. 925.
Oh.
I thought there was gonna be a 69 joke thrown in there somewhere.
No. All right. Well, anything
Where
else?
you? No, where's your go-to, girl?
Oh my god, I forgot me. Okay. I think it would be like. I think it's always going to be the Philippines,
Okay.
just because I would love to go back and see like the site where the Subic Bay was, kind of like where I was born and stuff like that. You know, all that kind of stuff. But I just don't know if that.
Have you been? You've been,
I've
right?
never been. No.
I thought you've been.
Oh, the food.
No.
The food in the
Yeah,
Philippines
yeah.
is
he was
delicious.
an infant.
Yeah.
He hasn't been since he
Yeah,
was
I
two.
mean, I eat the food like nobody's business, but yeah, you need a translator with you and stuff, and and my mom can't make that trip now.
That's a
so.
long flight, right?
Yeah.
How long is it? What, like
we have
14
friends who are
hours?
going next
Just
year,
about.
but they're going like to a particular resort. And,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like the trip he would want to take.
Right, exactly.
Where? What's the big city? Manila.
Manila.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should go with Manila Luzon.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Her, Jujubee, and Angina will make it a nice
Juju
trip
isn't
together.
Jujubee from?
I don't know.
She's not. She's from some. I feel like there's an S in the name.
Okay. Oops.
Like Fresno.
Oh, there's an S. She's Laotian.
Laotian, yeah. Laotian. There's an S sound.
All right. Before we offend anyone else, does anybody else have anything? No. Well, thank you, Chris, for being on our show. We really appreciate all the information you gave us.
Yeah,
that was so awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time, guys. See you next week.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.